In this video, we will bake a very easy sourdough bread. You will learn 3 things. How do I use my sourdough? How do I strengthen the gluten network in my dough? And how do I shape my bread for a proving basket? What a lovely day to bake! Moin, my name is Arne, German hobby baker who is living in Luxembourg. Today I'm going to show you a variation of my country loaf. I've baked hundreds of this bread with a wide variety of ingredients, grains and hydration levels. We will bake the bread over the year again and again, and I will always improve on individual points so that you eventually bake the perfect bread. If you want to support my work, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next videos. This is from Luxembourg with Loaf, so let's get started.
So this is a sourdough starter, looks really good. We start with pouring 240 grams of water into a bowl, and then we take 80 grams of our sourdough starter and put it in the bowl as well. If you want to know if your sourdough starter is ready, you can just jiggle the bowl a little bit, and if it floats, it's perfect. Then we take 220 grams of all-purpose flour and 80 grams of rye flour. This is whole wheat rye flour, but you can also use a different flour if you like. And then we take a spoon and mix everything together. And once the dough is really resisting, then you can also use your fingers and do the rest of the kneading. So that's fine now. Cover it, and after 30 minutes we can continue with the process. So you take 8 grams of salt and 40 grams of water. The water is important here also to dissolve all the salt, and then take your hands and squeeze the dough to incorporate all water with the dough. So then I cover it again and leave it rest for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes we do some stretch and fold. Therefore we wet our hands and we grab the dough from the side, pull it up and then tuck it in onto the other side of the bowl. You can do that about 8 times or until you realize that the dough gets really strong and it's hard for you to do another stretch and fold. Then you cover it again, and after 30 minutes you wet your hands again and do exactly the same that we did before 30 minutes. So grab a piece of the dough from the side and pull it all over the dough. So this is how we strengthen the gluten network of the dough. There are other options, and I have shown you them already in my focaccia video, which you find here in the upper right corner. So 30 minutes later we do exactly the same thing, and you should have realized that the dough already raised a little bit, and this is what we want. So you can now reduce the amount of stretch and folds, but I'm not doing this. I keep doing it until the dough says to me that it's enough. Cover it, and after 30 minutes again the same process. So grab the dough from the side, pull it all over, rotate the bowl, grab the dough from the side, pull it all over and rotate the bowl. So then we cover once again our bowl, and this time we wait for about 2 to 3 hours, and in this time the dough should have raised a little bit more, so like 80% I would say, and this is a good sign of fermentation, and this is what we want. So we take like a dough scraper or just use gravity to get the dough out of your bowl and put it on the workbench. Then you can take a dough scraper, or you can also use your hands. What we do, we want to shape the dough into a nice round bowl. So with the dough scraper it's really easy. I will put you some links below that video so that you know which tools I am using. So if you're interested into baking in future, it is really good to invest at least in some equipment. So the dough will now relax for about 20 minutes, and this is important for the next step, as we want to shape the dough for the proving basket. So we take some rye flour, sprinkle it above, and also take the dough scraper and put some of the rye flour below, so that we can easily flip the dough. So there's the sticky side up now, and this is what we want to have. We take like the bottom part of the dough and flip it over to 2/3 of the dough, and then we take the right side of the dough and flip it all over, and we take the same with the left, so we just build up like kind of an envelope. And then we take the upper corner and put it all over, and then we do like these stitches where we take the both sides and we like put it together. In the last step, then we roll the dough up. This also brings some extra tension that we want to have later for our oven spring. Then all you need to do is just cover the dough a little bit with some rye flour, and then also put some flour in your proving basket. This helps or prevents the dough from sticking. And then we take the dough scraper, turn the dough upside down in the proving basket, and what you can do, what you don't have to do, you can do some additional stitches. As I said, all of these measures will bring some tension to the dough, and this helps the dough from raising a little bit better in the oven. So that's everything for now to do. We cover the dough, and this goes now in the fridge overnight. And you see the dough raised a lot overnight. You can take your finger and put it into the dough, and if it comes up really slowly, then the fermentation is perfect. So this time, it was a little bit overproven. This is okay. You will see we will get a good result pretty soon. So we take a cast iron pan, and this already has been preheated in the oven for about 45 minutes. So this is the pan from a Dutch oven, and then I take a baking paper, put it above the Benetton, and then flip it all over with the bread loaf. And then I'm using a scoring knife or a razor blade. You can also use a sharp knife, and I want to make a cut in my bread. So this will help the dough in the oven for even rising a lot more, and this will also open up the crumb. I'm taking now some ice cubes and put them in the Dutch oven as well. This will create some steam, and this helps the dough raising. I put it in the oven for 20 minutes at 250 degrees, and after that I let the steam out, and you see here a beautiful ear in my bread loaf. I reduced the temperature to 220 degrees, and then after 20 minutes, for the last 5 minutes, I put a wooden spoon in the oven, so this will help to create some even better crust. And then I take out the bread and leave it for cooling for about 2 hours. Wow, after 1 week of creating our sourdough starter, this bread looks amazing. So, and here it is, the bread after cooling. Knocking on that bread gives us a good indication that this bread is perfect. So the crust really sounds good. So let's cut it in half and have a look at the crumb. So let's look inside. Wow, it's quite amazing. I didn't expect it that. Like, the sourdough starter is now a week old and we already got this open crumb. That's a really, really good result. And here you see the beauty. It has the ear, it has a beautiful texture. It's, yeah, a really good beginner's loaf, I would say.
I hope you enjoyed this video. For a young sourdough starter that has had not quite a week, I must say I was very surprised by the taste. Feel free to write down some notes on how you'd like the bread and what flavors you noticed. When your sourdough is a few weeks old, it will develop an even more complex profile, and that will be reflected in the bread. So keep feeding and baking. See you on the next video. Eddie and goodbye.